In a recent article of Scientific American Mind, they reviewed over 700 papers on common learning techniques. I'm going to share with you their gold star winner from the findings and go a few steps further to show you how to get the most out of this technique. I'm Dean Roller and this is Study Summit. Most students hate tests. I know I did in the early days. In fact, I used to feel this pain in the pit of my stomach just before an exam was coming up. No, it was even after I went to the toilet. I don't want students to needlessly go through the same pain that I felt years ago. That's why, as promised, I'm going to share with you the gold star winner after 700 common learning techniques were reviewed. And that gold star winner was self-testing. This is where practice tests are done by students on their own outside of class. In this video, I'm going to share with you why this is one of the best study techniques, how to do it in the most efficient way possible, and how often is often enough. Hundreds of documented experiments show that self-testing improves learning and retention. But why? Researchers Daniel and Broider found out how effective self-testing was. They split students up into two different groups. Now these students learned the exact same material, except the first group of students went through a series of quizzes or self-testing. The second group did no self-testing whatsoever. What they found was that the first group that engaged in quizzes did far better than the other group. Another paper headed by McDaniel in 2011 found out that quizzing yourself just once before an exam increased performance by up to 17%. You might be watching this right now thinking, it's going to take me even longer to study for exams. I don't have time to quiz myself. Well, let's just continue on with what the science says. Rawson and Dunlowski published results from an experiment that showed that every time a student quizzed themselves, it took less and less time to get the answers right. And more importantly, they retained more of the information. So yes, it takes a little bit longer the first time you quiz yourself. However, after the second and third study sessions, you'll be able to recall the answer a lot quicker, and more importantly, you'll get better grades. This is because each time you quiz yourself, you're forming multiple memory pathways, which make the information easier to access and, of course, faster to recall. Think about the benefits this has during exams alone. If you can answer questions faster, you'll have way more time and be a lot less stressed. When it comes to self-testing, there are two methods you can use that probably have the biggest impact. The first is just using flashcards by writing a question on one side of the paper and having the answer on the other side, so you can test yourself to see if you got the answer right. The second method means grabbing a piece of paper. You can put a column on one edge of the page where you would enter a question. Next to this, you would write the answer. Test yourself later by covering the answers on the right side before checking if you were right. So how often is often enough? For self-testing to work, you have to make sure you keep doing it until you get the answer right. If you don't, getting the answer wrong can get you in a bit of trouble, especially when it counts. Oh, do you hear that? They're playing our favourite song, I Swear by All For One.
What? That is not our favourite song. That's your favourite song.
I swear. And I don't just mean getting the answer wrong with your significant other. Getting the answers wrong without correcting them means you are forming memory pathways that are related to the wrong answers. And you don't want these memory pathways formed when you're sitting in an exam. If it takes 3 practice goes, 4 maybe even, to get the answers right, that is fine. Remember, every time you test yourself, it takes less and less time to get to the right answer. If you enjoy these insights, then make sure you subscribe to this channel. And better yet, if you can think of a friend who might be able to benefit from this video, then make sure you pass a link onto them. I look forward to sharing the practical tips that make the most of your time. Is that our favourite song?
No!